Okay, so now we're at part 2 of the Orlando Holiday Home Hidden Market. And let's go back now and let's look at Rolling Hills and another example. I want to show you an actual example of why these short sales and foreclosures are very hard to find themselves or to find a deal. They look like deals on the internet, but when you get over here, they're nothing like what you thought. Okay, so let's take the 174.9 at Rolling Hills. And let's look at that. Yep, it's a short sale. So again, the short sales, they're a crapshoot. They're like buying a lotto ticket. You may or may not get it, and chances are you won't get it. 1 in 10 to a 1 in 100 chance. So if you want to spend the money to come over time after time, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for your plane tickets and getting over here and going back and making offers and all that, you can do that, and you're just going to spin your wheels and you're going to eat up all those savings that you thought you were going to make from buying a short sale or foreclosure. So let me just show you an example of one that, again, another one of the hidden holiday home market in Orlando. Here's one for 189. So here's 174.9. 189, you're probably screaming, "Oh my God, no, I want that 174.9." Well, go ahead and go after it and see how long it takes you to get one of them. But here's one, 189. Not a short sale. This is a privately owned, and this is what I'm talking about with the hidden holiday home market. This is actually, you could actually close on this if you brought cash over, which I highly recommend doing that because it's very hard to get financing here right now. If you brought cash over, you could close on this within 2 weeks to a month. You could have that home starting to enjoy it. And this has probably been well maintained. It's being rented, and it's a private owner. So that is the hidden market. Now let me show you again another exercise here about short sales. Okay, when you look at the homes that sold here, there was a home that sold for $75,000. So you see that on the internet, you say, "Oh my gosh, that's the home. I'm going after deals like that." Well, let's take a look at what that was all about. Pretty nice looking home. Wow, what a deal. Listed at $99,000, sold for $75,000. Short sale. Okay, so let's look at it. Why did it sell for $75,000? Entire interior rehab needed due to mold damage. So here's what happens. I'm guessing. I don't know the situation, but I'm guessing. What happened was this owner owned a vacation home. They got fed up with the banks not lending money and keeping the economy at a standstill and making the property values go down and down and down. And so they finally said, you know what, forget it. Either I'm going to walk away from it, or I'm going to negotiate what's called a short sale, selling the home for less than what they owe on it. But it takes 90 to 120 days just to get the bank's attention. You have to not make payments for 90 to 120 days. So they did that. And in the meantime, since they aren't living in it probably because it was a short-term rental house, they probably let the electric go off, let the water go off, the pool was not maintained, and so what happens in 30 days of turning the air conditioning off in Florida, you have mold. And if you leave it for 6 months to a year that it probably took to get through the bank's head that people needed to short sale this thing, it probably was totally infested with mold, and thus it needs totally gutted. So you buy that home for $75,000. Let's look at the numbers. Buy that home for $75,000. You gut the thing. You put all new studs, drywall, carpet, everything. You got it. Well, plus a mold specialist to clean it up. You've got. Let's say you got it. It could be $150,000, but let's just say it's $100,000. Well, now you've got $175,000 in that super deal that you were looking for, and you haven't even equipped it yet. You haven't put furniture in it. You probably have to put a pool heater on it for $5,000. Probably have to have the pool redone for another $5,000 or $10,000. So that $75,000 home you bought on a steal was not a steal because now you've got $200,000 in it and you're not even done yet. And that's what I'm saying. You need to find the hidden job market or the hidden holiday home market. You can't. You can't go by the internet. The internet is all smoke and mirrors because you need somebody on the ground that actually knows and can tell you, whoa, wait a minute here, now that home's a deal and that home isn't. And most of the homes are not deals if they're short sales or foreclosures because of what I just showed you. So where do we go from here? Well, now that I've torn you down and told you, look at all the bad news. Well, the good news is that there are super deals here. The homes are probably never going to sell for this cheap again. And why would you ever come back over here and do this? because of the sun. That's why I live here. That's why people come here every day from all over the world. And the theme parks, you've just got, this is Florida. It doesn't get any better than this. Who was it? I think it was Ford. Henry Ford said, I traveled the world over trying to find paradise, and it was in my own backyard. Ormond Beach, Florida was where he settled down and built a huge mansion. And this is why. Because of the sun and the great weather and the great, the fishing, the other things other than the theme parks. So this is why you find a vacation home in Florida, especially now with homes being at the best price that I've ever seen them. But let's go back to what do you do next? Well, the next thing you do is you need to call me. You need to get in touch with me so I can work with you. Now, if you're going after short sales and foreclosures, just understand it's $1,000 a day. For me to work with you, if you're still stubborn enough and want me to help you find foreclosures, I don't get paid on those unless they close. And guess what? I'm not going to go through 5, 10, 20, 100 different offers to make the 1% or whatever they're paying realtors now to do those short sales and foreclosures. Let me leave you with this. If you want to do this, you need somebody on the ground like me. And here's my thing. There are 3 decisions I would never make and do it by myself in my lifetime. One of them is I'd never do brain surgery on myself, even though I can look it up on the internet and become an expert. I'd never defend myself in a major court battle because I'd done some research on the internet and sort of knew a little bit about the law. And I would never buy a home without having someone on the ground that was an expert to help me with the biggest decision that I usually make in my lifetime in terms of money, which is purchasing a house. Even though I could do the research on the internet. And like I say, the research is all smoke and mirrors because, I just told you the rest of the story. It is not what you think. Are there great deals out there? There are super deals out there. Do you need to be very, very careful? You'll be totally taken advantage of? Yes, you do. It's now worse than I'd ever seen it during the boom with all the cowboys and all the people, because now it's the banks, it's the realtors that are doing short sales and telling, oh yeah, we'll get that through, and they tell you that because they're slapping stuff on the wall hoping it sticks. So anyway, if you want to do this thing, you want to do it correctly. You want to get it the best house for the best price in the shortest amount of time so you can start enjoying it. Then you need to give me a call and we'll get started.